Hi, this is Ken Hayashi, author of the book Millionaire by 26 and former copywriter to President Trump. And on this video, I'm going to be talking about a $25 billion media franchise, the largest franchise in history, and how you have a unique opportunity to be on the ground floor of that market. So stay tuned. Okay, this is Ken Hayashi, and we're going to go over today's executive summary. We are going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about the products and services that we are offering, the competition, the company, the management, and the capital raise. Okay. Now, before we go into that, let me just tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Ken Hayashi. A little background about where I came from. I attended Oxford University, where I studied English literature and classical theater history. Now, I actually did do something with that. I did eventually write a off-Broadway play. It's produced in New York. It was part of the Young Playwrights Festival and actually produced by the Foundation of the Dramatists Guild back in the early 90s. So I did have that opportunity and that the honor of being able to have an off-Broadway play, working with some great directors and an actor that actually portrayed me, Daniel Day Kim, which was great. From there, I went on to start my own company, which was At Home Publishing, which was a direct marketing company. And I went from being a more of a creative type of writer to learning how to write great sales copy and marketing. So from that, I had a direct marketing company. I had built that up to teams of up to 50 people. I had generated over 10,000 brand new customers a month for myself as well as some of my clients. These are informational type of products that also opened up the floodgates to top clients such as seminar leaders, people that had sold from the stage. Also, the Trump organization came knocking on my door and asked me to write their sales copy and website design. Now, I also was able to sell the Trump organization that I will be their copywriter, as well as I'm the author of the book Millionaire by 26. Now, I've owned other businesses as well. Other businesses, traditional business that I also was able to afford me was a business like Planet Smoothie, where I had made smoothies and I had 15 teenagers working for me making smoothies in my little smoothie shop as a franchisee. Fun little business to have. That's where I got introduced, or actually I introduced a purple berry not only to the Planet Smoothie, and had all the Planet Smoothies then carry the new Samazon Acai smoothie, which I formulated there right there in that shop along with the founders of Samazon Acai. And this was all way before Jamba Juice and Robux and every smoothie shop out there now carries acai in pretty much the standard brand. That's where I formulated the acai smoothie there. As well as doing internet marketing, I had worked with a couple of clients that also had acai products, and I developed for them landing pages that generated them over 150,000 brand new customers on a trial, which is basically what it is they pay for shipping, and it's on a continuity product, a $50, $60, or $70 monthly continuity product to get their acai. So I generated a website and copy for my clients. Also, the other businesses that I've also had was a foreign currency trading fund as well, where I had $8 million under management, and I had we were currency trading and controlling over $80 million in currency trading transactions per month. This is all before 2008. So those are some of the businesses I've had. I also do have a personal life as well. I have 4 children. Those are my 4 children right there. I do have 4 separate black belts, including a Hapkido black belt, a Olympic style Taekwondo black belt, Hoshimundo, and a 2nd degree in Wadaru Karate. I had the opportunity to work with Marines, train them. I've trained over 50 world karate champions, volunteered my time and taught over 150 kids every week. Out of that, over the several years, have trained over 50 world karate champions, and out of the 50 world karate titles, 7 of those championship titles actually belong to my 2 oldest twin daughters. If you see up there, I have 2 oldest twin daughters that are 15 years old, Alexis and Ashley, my 12-year-old girl Natalie, and my 6-year-old son Brandon. So a little background about ourselves. Also, we do have some things that we like to do for fun. We have over 100 Instagram followers among us. It's a little project that my kids and I like to do for fun. And, you know, we get some Instagram followers. So that's a little background about who I am. Now let's talk about the market. Now the market is the wizarding world. Okay, the magic and wizarding world. Now it all started with an author that had a pen name, J.K. Her name was Joan, but she used a pen name called J.K. to appear as a male, and came up with this book called Harry Potter. And Harry Potter was a story about this little boy that discovers he's a wizard, goes to a school of wizardry, magic, and goes on these crazy, great adventures. A 7-year journey. Sold over 500 million books worldwide. It's been translated in over 73 different languages. The last books consecutively sold was the fast-selling books in history. It is the 2nd highest grossing film series of all time, and a $25 billion industry media franchise, which is one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time. And they're also continuing on with the story by having a prequel to all that, which is called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, where they just announced that they came out with 1 book/movie last year in 2016, and that is going to be 1 of 7 that's going to come out over the next several years. So it's definitely not going anywhere. The other people that are also part of this world of magic and wizardry, of course, not including the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but are also the magicians. That is a series that's going on their 2nd season, actually the 3rd season now, which is called The Magicians. Very popular series. Also, Amazon had just announced Just Add Magic. That series just began. Again, it's the world of wizardry among these 3 young girls that discover the world of magic. Okay, and of course there is Now You See Me Part 1 and Part 2, which just came out. It is definitely coming with the mainstream, with merging also magic, and this Now You See Me has to do with magicians, traditional performing magicians, and combining that with the world of magic. As you can see, even in this movie, they actually had Daniel Radcliffe, the guy that played Harry Potter, play a key role in there, so kind of putting a little nod to the Harry Potter world of wizardry. So it combines both the world of wizardry, which is supposed to be the mystical type of magic, as well as the world of magic, which includes tricksters and performing magicians, okay, sleight of hand type of magic. Now, I have a secret. Now, this secret I haven't told anybody in 25 years. And the secret is that my parents were actually magicians. They're performing magicians and wizards. And it's kind of synonymous, where it's magicians and wizards. And if you look it up, what is the definition of a wizard? It actually is either a sorcerer or a magician, person that performs magic. So it means the same thing. So both my parents were wizards or magicians, and my father actually had been written up in the Smithsonian, if you go look it up, because they had a restaurant where they would perform magic every day in a famous restaurant in Pasadena, California. Now, I attended a school of magic, and there really is a school of magic. Most people aren't aware of that, but there is a hidden castle inside of Hollywood Hills that's a private castle that actually teaches young kids magic and wizardry. On top of that, I had some pretty cool adventures as a boy and a girl. I met a boy and a girl magician. I also been recognized as the greatest teenage magician in the world when I was 17 years old. And I actually beat the most commercially successful magician in history, according to Forbes magazine, a guy named David Copperfield. Now, how did I beat him? I beat him with my illusions that I was doing. The illusion itself, the scale of the illusion, and also I beat him for the coveted spot to open, produce, and direct, and introduce the host of 2 Emmy Award shows that year. When Copperfield, they selected me over Copperfield, which was kind of nice. And then in 1992, I vanished from the world of magic. Now, I mentioned this for a couple of reasons, right? Now, so the thing about magic is I had a large-scale illusion show. It also included me with performances up to 180 performers. You can see me up there with the top right-hand corner. That's only a third of my team, my group that I used to perform with. That's probably just about 35 or so of the 180 people that I used to perform with. Bottom left-hand corner, you can see Copperfield that year had made a motorcycle appear, and actually that year I made a Corvette appear with 4 beautiful and the hottest dancers, teenage dancers in the nation, which were part of the national award-winning Alhambra High School drill team. I had large stage shows performances that were at the LA Sports Arena, featured on ESPN. I segment produced the Emmy Awards, which was kind of cool, which was great. That's me right there with the executive producers and the directors of the Emmy Awards right there in front of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And of course, that's me producing Tommy Davidson, the host of the show that year, 1992, of the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards. Now, I'm not kidding around. Let's take a look. I'm going here on YouTube. Anybody could look this up if you look up Hayashi, Harry, Emmy, or anything like that. This is me right here producing, directing the opening segment of the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards. So let's just go ahead and play that.
Welcome to the 44th Annual Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards. And your host for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, in living colors, Tommy Davidson. How you doing?
So, like for example, I did that. The other thing that I've also did, if you take a look, I actually do a side by side, and anybody could take a look at this because I want people to really evaluate this. Because after the world of when I beat David Copperfield, I disappeared from the world of magic. So I didn't want to throw it in his face that yes, I beat him. But if you watch this video, for example, was Hayashi the real Harry? Baltimore here, right there, you can see that I do a side-by-side comparison between Copperfield and myself when I was a teenager, and this is Copperfield. He made $42 million. I made $0 that year, but it's not all about the money. He had a CBS TV special. I had a ESPN TV special. He had performances to 4,000 people. I had 8,000. He made a motorcycle appear that year, which was very amazing. It was an amazing illusion. I had made a Corvette appear on stage. He had an hour show, so did I. He had flown on stage. He literally flew on stage, which is amazing by himself. He flew. I did something a little different. I commanded a Japanese army. I'll show you that in a second. He was dating Claudia Schiffer as a wizard. You know, he was dating a hot supermodel. I actually was dating a 3-time Emmy Award winning actress, Sarah Joy Brown, at the time. Now I'm 17. But you know that's what I was doing. So if you just watch, you can even see that it'll go like here it is. I'll do a side-by-side comparison. That's him on his motorcycle, and that's me making a Corvette appear with 4 beautiful dancers.
Copperfield or Hayashi? Just
This
write
is
it down.
comparison
Copperfield or Hayashi?
of him flying to the left, and then that's me performing with 180 dancers behind me, doing this huge magic samurai show. So that is for anybody that wants to truly evaluate this and take a look. Now, let's just go over Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a story by J.K. Rowling. She publishes a book about a boy who lived. Now, her story is about a kid that had parents that were practice magic, or they were wizards. He has an adventure with a boy and a girl magician. He becomes a great wizard, and then eventually beats the greatest wizard of all time, a evil wizard called Voldemort, Lord Voldemort. Okay, that's the story. Now, let's kind of go over what that means. Let's just check that out. Okay, now if we take a look, my parents were magicians. Okay, Harry Potter's parents were magicians. Now I don't know how many people you know that have parents that were magicians, but my parents happened to be both magicians. Same thing with Harry Potter. There's a school of magic that I attended. You know, I mean, how common is that? That's exactly where Harry Potter happens to attend. I meet a boy and a girl magician, and then me and the female magician actually rise to become a very, very powerful team. And we are doing the Emmy Awards. We're doing large-scale shows, stuff like that. Same thing with Harry Potter. Has a heroine girl named Hermione Granger, and that's Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. I have Denise Wincheffel and myself. We eventually, we become the #1 wizards at that school of magic. So does Harry Potter. I beat the #1 wizard of all time, or the most commercially successful wizard of all time, according to Forbes magazine, David Copperfield. And so does Harry Potter. He beats this evil Lord Voldemort as the #1 evil wizard of all time. Okay. Now, if you think about that, for 5 items to match exactly the same, that's if you were to do that on the lottery, for example, I mean, you'd be a multi-millionaire, right? Well, it just doesn't stop with that. It actually does continue on. One of the illusions that I was very famous for, and I performed this all up and down Hollywood, at several nightclubs, including the Comedy Store and at the world-famous Magic Castle, was a illusion act where I had done these golden spheres that would multiply and disappear and fly around and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. I was very famous for this. I was on television doing this type of routine. Okay, well, very famous. Now, On top of that, along the way, I had this protector guide that was helping me along the way. I mean, definitely if I'm doing these large scale shows, I definitely had someone to help me along the way that was doing he was actually my security guard, as well as help me build a lot of the illusions to make the effects happen. Okay. As well as I had a couple of assistants as well, including a couple twins like that. I had an arch nemesis, as they call it, a kid named Cyril Takayama, which happens to be a performing magician even to this day, that would crank call my house. And man, God, this kid was just, you know, you talk about a kid that just, the evil kid. This was that kid. And then I also did attend a school called Oxford University over in the UK, and I'll talk to you about what is the significance of Oxford University in a minute. So that's me. So that's Golden Sphere, Protector, Twins, Nemesis, and Oxford University. Now let's talk about Harry Potter. Now Harry Potter works like this. Harry Potter gets really famous for this thing with these Golden Sphere. Actually, he's very famous for being what they call the Seeker or something like that, where he goes around and has to go catch this golden flying ball. It's called Quidditch. And it has like a cult following. People are like pretending they're on broomsticks and running around trying to catch this ball. And it's like people are playing this game, right? Living that fantasy world of Harry Potter. Now, that's kind of similar. I mean, I don't know how many magicians out there that have a golden sphere. Let me just tell you, none. So that has a little interesting similarity. Here's a protector guy that's a very lovable character, Hagrid. He doesn't follow the whole journey till the end. I think he dies somewhere in one of the series. But Hagrid, protector guy that's also a wizard, but kind of a buffoon kind of guy that's has a good heart, but is, you know, messes things up and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting with that. Also, the twins has these twins that Harry Potter kind of joins up with, teams up with. I think my twins are a lot more attractive than these two twins, but that's the situation with that. The arch nemesis, we've got this kid named Malfoy that like just hates Harry Potter for whatever reason. Him and his dad just is the evil kid. A little interesting with that. And then finally, the Harry Potter series was actually filmed not only on a soundstage, but parts of the movie was filmed at a university, you know, to make the halls look really nice and grand and everything like that. Now, what university do you think they filmed the movie at? That's right, they filmed it at Oxford University. Of all the universities that they could have possibly have filmed it, that's where they filmed it at. So that's almost like, seriously, like winning the lottery twice. What are the odds of that? Interesting. So let's talk about this market. What we're about to do is we're going to launch the true life biography of the real story of the boy who lived. Now, we're going to jar the market by saying, why read the fictional fantasy world of wizardry, okay, when you could read the real story of the real Harry Potter, the real kid that went to the school of wizardry and ended up beating the most commercially successful wizard in the world, David Copperfield. Okay, do you guys want to continue living in a fantasy world where you're following the fake story of the wizard, the kid wizard, or do you want to read the real story of the kid that ended up becoming the greatest wizard of all time? Okay, basically disruption of the Harry Potter existing fan base. We're talking about 500 million books that have been sold worldwide. Some of the people, the kids, have been reported to have read the books 10 times each, memorized several chapters of it. Every time when the book has been sold, and they've had huge lines and cult-like following. Okay, basically Harry Potter is like their new Lord and Savior, right? It almost has a religious type of following, right? Where people are saying, wow, oh my gosh, if you change a single word in the Harry Potter series, it's sacrilegious and stuff like that. Well, guess what? I am their new Lord and Savior. I am their Harry Potter. Okay? And when I throw in things like that, that's going to cause lots of controversial and a lot of anger among the existing fan base, and at least have them question whether the story is true. Okay? Because Harry Potter is based on a real life story. It was based on me. Okay? Whether people believe me or not, it doesn't matter. There's an existing fan base that could be siphoned off as the market. Every Harry Potter fan in the world will have to come up with the decision of whether they believe me that I am Harry Potter or not. Okay, so what kind of products are we talking about? Well, number one, there's the book or the book series, right? There is the YouTube, and we don't have to go into the successes of YouTube being bought out by Google and many of the brands that are being launched today with YouTube, corporate, personal brands, everything like that. How powerful that is. It's a revenue stream as well as just social media. Licensing of my brand to other manufacturers of toys or any kind of video games, anything like that. That is definitely a product line. Merchandising, as well as membership sites. Now, membership sites are very much like Netflix, having memberships for movies. That's up until now, they never really owned anything. It was basically they were just streaming movies. That was a membership site. Well, for the wizarding world, it would be a membership site on how to become a wizard. A true membership site that would be offered to a large audience of how to actually become a wizard. Okay, Harry Potter is a fictional character. They don't have a wizarding school. There is no leader of a wizard school. I'd be able to offer that as a membership site. This also could go on beyond the people that want to live a fantasy world of making things happen and appear, to actually attacking the market of the coaching programs. People out there that want coaching programs, the adults out there. Captures that audience, and of course upsells and cross sells of affiliate products, people that are selling affiliate products. Now let's talk about the book series. Now the book series works like this. The story is about Ken Hayashi and the Magic Castle. That is book number 1. That is one of 3 books, and this is a non-fiction biography book. And this is actually includes historic and video documentation, and this is all written and illustrated by Ashi Hayashi. And who's Ashi Hayashi? Ashi Hayashi is my 15-year-old daughter, she illustrated that cover right there on the top right hand corner right there, as you can see. She's also a 2-time world karate champion, and this book which is already completed. It's 300 pages, 15 chapters. Right now she's finalizing all the editing on that and still illustrating parts of the book still. But this book is about to launch and then tell the Harry Potter audience, well, great, you guys been reading the fictional version of it, of the wizard that went to the School of Magic. Here is the real story, and my daughter is the only one that has that book. Okay, and it is a 7-year journey at the real School of Magic. It includes witchcraft and wizardry, so it dances on the concepts of, is this real magic, or is this a non-fiction book, or is this a fictional character? Well, obviously I'm not a fictional character. I'm a real person. The book includes me casting of spells, okay, the use of real magic, okay, not just performance magic like pulling rabbits out of hats and stuff like that. We're talking about real magic. So that is, it will feed the audience. Now, what are the competition out there? Well, the competitions out there that are jumping on this bandwagon, whether we are launching Ken Hayashi and the Magic Castle or not, is the Fantastic Beasts. They have invested millions and millions of dollars on this brand, going to capitalize on Harry Potter's new stories that's going to come out over the next 7 years. Okay, there is Just Add Magic, as we had talked about before, the magicians investing tons of money on their production and just feeding that audience. Other people that also will that also offer a coaching program include people like Tony Robbins. He's built a huge brand about coaching. There is David Copperfield, possibly if he were to capitalize on that market. He's an older guy, but he still has that. And the other two wizards slash magicians out there, performing magicians, are Chris Angel or David Blaine. Now, Chris Angel and David Blaine, they could never come back and say, well, no, the story is really based on my life. They're around my age, okay, if not a little older or anything like that. But back in the 1990s, when they were in high school, so was I, they were nowhere to be seen in the magic world. They may have been street performers or something like that. They only came out after Harry Potter. So none of these people could capitalize on that market. I have a unique hook and an angle that I am the only true Harry Potter. The one that J.K. Rowling really based the whole character off of my life. Now let's talk about the company. The company is At Home Publishing. We are a Nevada corporation incorporated in 2008. We sold over 150,000 books. We, meaning myself, sold over 150,000 books. Myself, books that cost $40 to I'd sell for $40 and it only costs $1 to produce. Okay, I've sold affiliate products. My clients included people like Robert Allen, where I had generated him over 10,000 brand new customers per month. That's not Robert Allen over there. That's me and Mark Victor Hansen, which was Robert Allen's partner on the project. Mark Victor Hansen from the founder of Chicken Soup for the Soul. My other clients include Donald Trump. I've also, even Dr. John Gray here had said some pretty nice things about me, which is really nice. Ken Hayashi proves practical insight and simple wealth building techniques that anyone can do. From Dr. John Gray. Thank you very much, Dr. Gray, which is nice. Management. Let's talk about the management that's in place. We've got myself, Ken Hayashi, which is the CEO and director of the company. I also have my partner here, Carissa Ortiz. I've worked with her for over 8 years as my right-hand person, as my operations officer, as well as my partnership with Target Appointments, which is an outsourcing company in the Philippines. We have the capabilities to go up to 100 people or more, which includes writers, web designers, and video editors, and social media marketers. And that's what we need in order to take this company global and worldwide. The management of the call center, as well as the outsourcing company, we're ready to go. We just need the funding. Okay, so what kind of capital raise are we looking at? We are looking at a couple phases in capital raise. Phase 1, we're looking at a $500,000 raise. Phase 2, after that, we should get all the regulations and licensing requirements to do phase 2, which is a $50 million raise. And then finally, we're going to go, I'll talk about the exit strategy. So phase 1 works like this. Phase 1, we're doing a small round of friends and family kind of raise, $500,000 raise, basically a 5,000 share minimum, $1 a share. But we're really looking for people that are coming in at 25,000 shares or 100,000 shares or more, obviously. What you'll get with that is a 12% annualized rate of return. Please note the disclaimer down there, which was on there earlier. And at the end of when we go on to phase 2, it'll be first in, first out. Okay. Not only will you get the 12% annualized return, you do have the option to continue on if you should you choose to. And if you do that, then we'll actually match your shares. So if you got, let's say, 25,000 shares for $1, then you would get matching that shares. You'd actually get another 25,000 shares should you stay with us as we go to phase 2. Okay, so you get them for half the amount. Now, what that will do will allow us to do a private placement memorandum, get all the licensing that's required, and then launch this out onto the market. I already have the partnerships ready to go so that we can do that. All right. So at that point, we'll be doing a $50 million raise, and this is to take it global and worldwide. There already is a existing audience worldwide. Again, Harry Potter has been translated to 73 different languages, 500 million books sold worldwide, $24 billion media franchise. We've got so we do need the financing to take it and attack that market globally. With that, we're going to do a 25,000 minimum share raise for that with $1 per share. We're looking for people to come in at that level, 25,000 to 1,000,000 shares, and then that will allow us to take it to the exit strategy that we have in mind. The exit strategy is obviously if we're going to take this to an IPO, which would be great. However, what we're also looking for is an opportunity for us to be acquired by a larger entity, okay, that has the partnerships to take it globally very fast. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some other publicly traded multimedia companies, just as an example. We have no relations with these companies, but I'm just going to give you an example. Like, for example, Netflix. Now, Netflix came out was a public offering in 2002. They were offering a 5.5 million shares. They were offering initially at a $15 per share. And I'm giving this as an example because they started off as a membership site, right? Initially, it was just to download and watch a couple of movies, but then they turned it into a membership site. Now today, or when this was published, this is currently trading at $142 per share. Another company I'd like to point out is a company like Instagram. Now, Instagram started in 2010, and by 2012 had just under 1 million subscribers. I'm sorry, 100 million subscribers, right around there. Okay, 100 million. And because they had 100 million subscribers, had captured a large audience, and Facebook decided to buy them out for $1 billion. Now, in comparison, think about the Harry Potter market. If I got 500 million people, whether they're angry, diehard fans of Harry Potter saying, "No, you're not Harry Potter, how dare you," or 500 million people that say, "Absolutely, he is Harry Potter," or a combination of both, it doesn't matter. Once I have captured that market, it is primed to be bought out by a larger entity to take it globally. Okay, so that's why I gave that example there. Contact me, and I'll definitely get the additional information over to you, including projections and performas. This is my contact information, Ken at kenhayashi.com. I hope to speak to each and every one of you very soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.